If you watched tonight's episode of Skeem Saam, wow, there was drama from Kowezi's suspicious moves to Paxton's emotional breakdown and that final twist with Lehasa. It's getting real. So the episode starts with Nkosi getting ready and Kwesi walks in all sweet, breakfast tray, coffee, the whole good girlfriend routine. But already there's this fake calmness in the air. Like you can feel that both of them are acting polite, but something's brewing. Kowezi's talking about introducing Nkosi to her team, and she casually mentions that Joy will be there. The same Joy who hasn't seen them since they went public. You can already tell she's trying to mark her territory. Then Nkosi brings up Lehasa, asking why Kwesi didn't tell him that Lehasa was at her beauty store the day the Sangoma fell. The way her face dropped, she was definitely caught off guard. She tries to play it off, saying Lehasa's always looking for dirt on her, but the whole exchange just screams, we're hiding things from each other. This couple looks good on the outside, but deep down, they're playing chess with each other. Next, we jump to Paxton, and shame that boy's going through it. He's sitting there, looking broken, Melita and his dad trying to comfort him. Melita's holding his hand, being motherly for once, and Paxton just keeps saying, I don't know what to do. You can feel how lost he is. It's not the usual arrogant Pax we're used to. This is the side of heartbreak people don't post about, where you're just sitting there, trying not to fall apart. And for once, his family actually feels united. No shouting, no judgment, just real empathy. It was honestly one of the softer moments in the episode. Then we see Quito chatting with Mantuli, and I'll be honest, I had to replay that conversation twice because it was low-key confusing. But the gist is he's happy with Lizzie and Mantuli's happy for him, but both of them sound unsure about how to navigate their next steps. It's that awkward space between excitement and fear. They're happy, but they don't know what comes next, which honestly is quite realistic. Not every storyline needs a big conflict. Sometimes it's just life being awkward. Then we move to Lehasa's place, and this was an interesting one. Lehasa's opening up about his trauma, especially around money and poverty. Pretty's listening and actually showing understanding, which is nice because these two have been through a lot. But then, out of nowhere, Clement bursts in late for a meeting. Classic Skeem Saam timing. Lehasa warns him about Sangomas, and when Pretty asks what he means, he just coughs and moves on. Nah, that cough wasn't innocent. It's giving, I know more than I'm saying. You can tell there's something heavy brewing around this Sangoma situation. Then back to Paxton, who's now at school looking even worse. He's in a wheelchair, avoiding calls, and when Letetsui and his cousin come to check on him, he finally breaks. He starts venting about being dumped by Shay, saying Joburg girls have no morals, and led him on. You can feel his pain, but also he's projecting a lot. It's not just heartbreak, it's self-esteem issues. That line, I'm in a wheelchair, Joburg girls are cruel, hit hard. You can tell he's internalizing his disability as rejection, and that's actually deep. The show's doing a good job of showing how emotional pain mixes with insecurity. Letetsui and his cousin really try to cheer him up though. Real friends, shame. Quito's in his working era now, doing spreadsheets with Tabo, planning for 2026 and talking about working with Lizzie. He's actually glowing here, hey. You can see the ambition. But Tabo's side comments, especially that I'll have to go to your house line, had me side-eyeing. Like, what's that supposed to mean? Anyway, this scene just showed that Quito's focused, but money's still tight. Typical township hustle energy. One foot in the dream, one in the reality. Then we get the detectives, Peterson and TP, talking about that recycling bag linked to the river victim. This storyline's clearly building up to something big. Peterson's impatient with the lab delays and the way they mention the body being hidden in a cart and you can just tell this is connected to Lehasa's Sangoma somehow. Now, back to Kwezi Beauty and its chaos in disguise. Kweza's all smiles, doing her girl boss thing, talking about expansion, while Joy subtly throws shade at Nkosi, basically implying he only got the job because he's dating Kwezi. The tension was real. You could feel it through the screen and the way Nkosi handled it. Too polite. It's like he's scared to rock the boat. Kwezi tries to save face, but you can see the cracks forming, the relationships bleeding into the business, and that's never a good sign. Then, there's a short but interesting scene with Mapitsi and Lizzie. It's light-hearted. Mapitsi saying she needs to restock her life, Lizzie joking about lingerie. It's giving girls just chatting vibes. But it also hints at both of them being in weird emotional spaces, like everyone's reevaluating life lately in this show. Relationships, careers, everything. Okay, now the mystery picks up again. Lehasa goes to Francois asking about the Sangoma, and Francois drops a bomb. Apparently, the Sangoma came looking for a restaurant owned by both Kwezi and Lehasa. So they're somehow connected in this mess, and Lehasa's reaction? Pure shock. He literally storms out like, Francois, that little detail makes a lot of difference. This is the first time we see him genuinely scared in a while, and it's starting to make sense why he's been so paranoid. Then we circle back to Nkosi and Kwezi. They're in full power couple mode, having meetings and flirting in between. Nkosi's professional, but there's that subtle tension again, especially when he calls another woman hot by accident. They joke about trust, but after the earlier scene, it feels forced, like they're performing trust instead of actually having it. This storyline's heading straight for betrayal. You can just feel it. Then there's that awkward call between Quito and Clement. Quito teases him about Lizzie, and Clement denies it, of course. Finally, we end with Lehasa visiting Peterson, and this was the moment. He explains the missing Sangoma situation, shows him a blurry photo, and Peterson drops the bombshell. The man you're looking for was found dead in the Yukon River. Lehasa's face, completely stunned. You could see the panic, and when Peterson pulls up the ID card showing the Sangoma's name as Mafosa, everything ties back. It's creepy, mysterious, and a perfect cliffhanger. So overall, this episode had a perfect mix of emotion and suspense. Paxton's storyline was heartbreaking, Lehasa's arc is heating up fast, and Kwezi and Nkosi, they're walking on thin ice. If this is the build-up, I can already tell this week's going to be wild. What did you think of that ending? Do you think Kwezi will be exposed for the Sangoma's death? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. That's all for today. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.